Okay, Andy, lots to talk about today. Let's start with Tom Varndale, a great signing from Bristol point of view.
Yeah, we signed him for next year, and delighted to have got his services. Tom was schooled at Colston's Collegiate and went on to have a great career with Leicester and has performed really well, having moved to Wasps. So we're looking forward to him joining the squad in the summer.
Yeah, and he's a prolific scorer, isn't he, as well? He certainly knows where the try line is, scored a lot of tries during his career. That's a vital weapon to have, isn't it, in your squad?
Well, it's a key requisite for playing on the wing, is you've got to score tries. Last year we brought in David Lemmy, and he's delivered in his ability to score tries, and that's the same that we'll be looking for Tom coming in, and any wingers that we sign or any wingers that we have here, it's about them scoring tries. Yeah,
and experienced as well. I mean, he's been there and done it, hasn't he? As you say, he played for Leicester, played for Wasps, and he's also played for England as well, which is a key thing.
I coached him early on when he was with England, and he performed very well there. He's a player that has grown over the years and matured really well, and I think the performances he's put in for Wasps this year have been really good, and I'm delighted that he's going to be joining us and on the fast track at Ashton Gate to be able to play on that.
Yeah, are you surprised perhaps during his career he hasn't won more than the 4 caps for England?
That's down to the coach's selection, and you've got to be able to deal with that.
Yeah, I mean, he's obviously is someone that could be a key player from Bristol point of view, isn't he?
Well, like all our players, that they've got a part to play, and that's why we've signed Tom for him to be able to play his part in the way that we go out and attack the opposition, but also how we grow the squad. He's a 29-year-old, and it's a great age to come in and for us to use his experience that he's had over the years, but also to start develop some of the young players we have here.
Yeah, and the fans will be happy to see signings like this, won't they? Because he's a proven player, I suppose, so the fans are going to be happy to see these type of players coming through the door.
Well, you never know with the supporters, sometimes how they feel, but from my side, everything that I look at, the people that we try to bring to the club, is about moving the club forward and for us to create a winning side, and that's all my focus is. And I'll look at the players that I believe are right to come in and perform well for Bristol.
Yeah, are more signings up the sleeve and imminent announcements, or it's just an ongoing process?
Well, when we make the signings, we'll announce them. There's always lots of speculation. I think for us, with our ambitions that we have, we'll always be linked to any player. I was surprised that we weren't linked to Reece Priestland to be signed. It happens. We're linked to it, to any signing that's going to be made, and that's part of what you've got to be able to cope with. As you've seen throughout, we'll try and be as transparent as possible. When we have a signing, we'll announce it, and hopefully we'll be able to bring in the players that we believe are right to move Bristol forward.
Yeah, you talk about rumours there. Gavin Henson's a name that's been strongly linked with Bristol. Is he a player that perhaps could be of interest to you?
Gavin is a talented player who's played well for Bath this year, and we have a lot of respect for the way that he goes out and plays the game. But as I say, from my side, when there's things to be announced, it will be announced, and I'm not saying either yes or no as to whether we're looking at it.
Yeah, but I mean those kind of players, international players of past and present, I suppose, are the type of players that will attract Bristol, obviously.
Well, we've got to look at sort of how we want to play the game, and when we look at our squad and the depth of the squad that we have, it's about getting the right players here to perform. And one thing you could always say about a Gavin Henson, he can play at 10, he can play at 12, and he can goal kick. So for certain clubs, he's of interest, because he can do that. And for us, I will make comment regarding him joining Bristol if a contract is agreed.
Yeah, absolutely. And Dean Ryan's made some interesting comments this week about Bristol. What's your take on those?
I've not read them, so you'll have to explain what they are.
He's made some comments about Bristol being an ageing, overpaid squad that moving forward may not be for the long term of the best interest of the club.
So he's on our accountant's side. Is he looking at the numbers that we signed the players for? I know he helped Chris Boy a couple of years ago. People will always make comments about you, I'm not sure whether he's trying to wind us up or whatever. I think he's got a tough enough job having to bring his Worcester side together. So I think it's and I've got a tough enough job looking after the Bristol side to be worry about any other team. In terms of our squad and the average age that we've played this year has been 26. I believe the right age to be playing this game is at 29-30, and that's where you get the maturity of a player. But I think when you look at the players that we've brought in, the way that they've gone out and played, I've been delighted with the impact our players have had. Particularly, so David Lemmy, Dwayne Peel, Matthew Morgan. These guys have performed well. Perenisi, Ian Evans, Jack Lamb before his injury. So we need to get a little bit more out of Ryan Jones, because he's picked up. He's had a couple of niggles, having come back from the horrific ankle injury, and that's part of the process that it will take him a little bit longer to come back through. And he's had a couple of games, but all in all, I'm pleased with the way that the squad is working, and the age of our squad.
And you mentioned Matthew Morgan there, key to get him back on the field last week.
He's an exceptional talent. He's got a long way to go in his rugby development as a fly half, and he recognises that. He's working on a lot of aspects of his game, and it's great to see a player like that on the ball, because he's so electric when he's running.
Yeah, is it going to take him time? Obviously, after a little bit of an injury layoff, you have to be patient, I suppose, don't you, with the player to come back and expect him to get back to the form that he was before the injury.
Oh, without doubt, and that's for any player coming back. You want them to be back to where they were when they before they got injured, but it sometimes takes a player a little bit of time, particularly at this stage of the season where the pitch is a little bit heavier as well. So you need to have that bit of time for him to come back through. But he's a really good professional rugby player.